Today, we're going to go over the entire process for sourcing at Mikhail Capital. We're going to go from the very beginning of how to find companies in specific industries that fit our financial criteria, all the way down to finding who is the person in charge of those companies and their contact information, down to how do you reach out to those people. So let's begin. There are several great sites and resources over here for finding different companies in different industries. I listed a few over here, particularly these two are great. Today I'm going to use Hoover's as an example. So on Hoover's, I'm going to use this link to go over here. Now over here, I click the build a list option. So I click this, and I've already created some preliminary filters. If this would ever load, which it might not. So for, oh, no. So I guess I'm just going to recreate all of these. So for country, I'm going to put United States as a filter. For financial information, I'm going to put net income that's between 0.2 million and 1.8 million over here. And you notice that these numbers are decreasing as I'm updating this, right? Net income in US million dollars. I'm looking for companies that are non-public, so private companies. I'm looking for low-risk companies over here. So let's just keep narrowing this down a little bit. And when it comes to EBITDA is not normally readily available, so you kind of have to triangulate between net income, its sales, and number of employees. So if you know an industry pretty well and you can insert those numbers, you can kind of like guesstimate the EBITDA of like certain companies. That's like the best way to triangulate that. So when it comes to the next criteria is let's look for companies in a certain industry. So let's just browse over here. Now here are the two common coding systems in the United States. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to use NAICS codes. Let's click through a few of these for an example. So, let's just click a few of these, right? We're looking for companies in these industries that fit these financial criteria that we're looking for. So, yeah, I'm going to add these criteria. So I added these criteria over here. Did this narrow? Okay. So here are a list of the companies, right? And I'm going to go and click view results right now. So here are the results. All of these are in the United States. So I'm just going to go here. I'm going to copy this information and put it on a Google spreadsheet. So I've already done that here for today. I have all of these outlined over here. And what I'm going to do is this is all given to us by Hoover's. Summer intern analyst will be filling out this information. So they'll be once they have the company name, they'll fill out the corporate headquarter address along with the first name of the CEO, last name of the CEO, the email of the CEO, and is this a very compelling company, yes or no, along with a very specific description column. We'll go back to this. So for example, not all these results will be great. So for example, we're like not going to buy an oil corporation, so we're going to skip that. I don't think you can buy a nonprofit. So let's go to Bachman's over here. Bachman's is a plant company, right? So let's enter Bachman's over here. Bachman's. You know, is this the right company? Yeah, it's a plant company. So, nice website. So once you have identified that, it's about finding who the CEO of that company is, right? So let's go back here. There's some operational tools. There are a whole bunch of tools here. We'll only go over a few of them in this video. So, for example, there's a tool called Hunter. It will help us find email addresses of people at those companies. So if you go to Bachman's, get that, copy this, enter bachmans.com over here. Let's start stalking. Here are some people who are very common people at Bachman's, right? Let's keep going and see all these email addresses, right? So a lot of people here at Bachman's. Now, who's our CEO? I'm just either going to type CEO. You can do CEO LinkedIn, a couple of different things. I'm just going to scroll down. I see Bachman's names Susan as president. She's probably a family member, right? That would make sense. And it's from April 28th, 2016, so fairly recent. So Susan Bachman looks like a good bet for us. So let's go back to Bachman's over here, and let's search for Susan. Hey, there's a Susan. Now, it would be highly unusual if there's two Susan Bachmans at a company, but for the sake of due diligence, let's see, where did they get this email address from? They got it from here. This is the source. What is this? I don't know what this is. So this is a plant judging competition. It would make sense that the CEO of a plant company is a judge. So this is the right person. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to put this on the spreadsheet over here. Now, let's say you can't find this readily available, right? I know Susan Bachman is the CEO. How do I find her email? Here's a second method for finding it. You can go to Susan Bachman at bachmans.com. And if you downloaded the Chrome extension name to email, it'll give you a list of all these possibilities. And if you downloaded the full contact Chrome extension, it'll show you every time you hover your name through whether it will show someone that has like a social profile, right? So you'll see over here that you see here S. Bachman, that has a profile over here. So that looks like a good lead. This also looks like a good lead, although I don't think Susan Bachman is an art director, so it's probably not the best lead. But you could have both on here, right? So a combination of these two Chrome extensions could also help you find the email address. So a couple of options here. You put in Susan Bachman. Now that you have Susan Bachman's name, let's assume you get all of these filled out, right? Once you get all these filled out, it's time to contact people. So when you're in the process of contacting someone, let's compose a new email. Actually, no, this is not an email. You click this button. So this is a third Chrome extension called Gmass. When you click this, it will connect to one of your Google spreadsheets. I will click demo because that is the name of this spreadsheet over here, right? And I'm going to enter the columns that I want to be loaded up here. So I want the email column. I want name column. Let me get the last name column. Let's get the company name as well. And let us get the description. And I'll show you this. I'll show you why in a second. So, yeah. Oh. Oh, sorry. So it has to be Andre is the tab that this is on. So let's click to Andre, right? So that's important. So we're going to compose a mass email using this Chrome extension. Now we only have one email address, but like when you do this properly, it will like preload all of these. And what you do is you could just have a message. So I already have a pre-written message over here. So you can just write an email message, and it'll to say good afternoon, first name, and then I'm a fellow entrepreneur and came across a little message, have some customization about the company name, about the description, company name again. And when you do this, then you click the GMass button, and once you click the GMass button, it will send to everyone out. Now, uh, when you look at the settings for the GMass button, you can add things like unsubscribe button, in case they don't want you to spam them over and over again. So you can have that as an option. You could you could have trackers here on when people open and click the links, so you can see when they open the emails, right? And have all that information out here. So you click the GMass button, it'll send a mass email to everyone, but it would be very personalized. So here's an example of what a personalized email looks like. So, good afternoon, Susan. I'm an entrepreneur. Came across what you're doing at Bachman's. It really stood out was the depth of product offerings for your floral business, even having bonsai. Now, that is a very customized line, right? That really comes from having the description over here and having this type of customization from doing the research in the company. So this is important. And you notice all the customization at the beginning over here, right? So once you send those mass emails, you can then check to see the status of them and if they're read or not. So, oops. So you will get reports on email. So if you send an email to 100 people, it'll tell you how many recipients there are, how many of them opened the email, and how many of them didn't open the email. It'll give you some very specific information. So this is all very useful reporting. Now, it'll help you track, how effective your email campaigns are. So and no one can like tell that you're tracking this information. It's like invisible in the email. So it's very nice. For those who don't respond to your email, you can send a reply campaign. So here's a group mass email that I sent to 3 people, and I can send the email to those who opened the email, who didn't open the email, who opened the email but didn't click on any links or whatever. So, I could send reply emails to people at certain junctures as well. So, very powerful tool over here, right? So, this is out over here. So, this is how everything works. I hope this was useful, and looking forward to your thoughts.